Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. I'm going to be coming at you with a new video today. I want to do like a party one pot fried rice for you guys, a recipe for you guys, so that you can, impress your guests. You can really go out and show out with just simple ingredients, really quick and easy, and your guests are just going to love it. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, you know the drill. Thank you for supporting me. Really appreciate all your support, and I'll see you in the next video. Mwah. As always, we're going to start off with our ingredient rundown. So I've got half peppers here. So I've got all three colours, red, yellow and green. I've got 2 cloves of garlic. I've got some ginger. I've also got 2 small onions. One is a white onion, one is a shallot onion. I've got some spring onion or scallion. I've also got a Scotch bonnet. You know we love a Scotch bonnet over here. I've got my stock pot, so I love using stock pots. It gives it a nice flavour. I've got 2 Maggie cubes. I'm using the shrimp flavour Maggie cube, and I've got my rice. I'm using the golden Basmati rice today. Don't worry guys, I'm going to put all the measurements and ingredients in the description box below. I've got my shrimp, so we're going to be using shrimp today, so I'm making a shrimp party fried rice. For my seasoning, I'll be using a ranch seasoning. I'll be using some black pepper, some smoked paprika, and I'll also be using my complete seasoning. I'm going to use some sea salt, and finally I'm going to be using some curry powder. I almost forgot when I was putting the ingredients together that I will be using some mixed vegetables. So you can just get any frozen bag from your supermarket, but I will be adding mixed vegetables in this recipe. Okay, and let's start cooking. I'm going to start by seasoning our prawns. So I've got like half a teaspoon of salt. I'm going in with some black pepper here. I've got my smoked paprika, so I'm going in with that. I'm going to add some ranch dressing as well at this point. And then I'm also going to go in with my complete seasoning. And then just mix all those ingredients together. I'm just going to go in with my hands just so I can do it properly. So mixing all of that together. Then I'm going to add my shallot. I'm just going to put this to the side now for about 15 to 20 minutes and leave it to marinate while we just get on with cooking everything else. I've put about half a cup of oil into a pot on a medium flame, and I'm just adding to that my onion and shallot mix. I'm just going to toss and stir that around for about a minute just to saute down a little bit before I add my next ingredient. Once I've sweated it down for about a minute or two and the onions look like this, I'll add my next ingredient, which is the spring onions, and just give that a little stir. Make sure all the onions are getting to know each other really well in our pot of goodness. On to the next ingredient. Okay, here I have my Scotch bonnet, my ginger and my garlic. I've chopped them up quite finely, and I'm just going to add that into the pot as well. So we're just going to give that a nice mix together. Just make sure everything is really incorporated, and just let it saute for about a minute or two. We're really releasing those flavours, guys, and it just smells so good in this kitchen. So just keep stirring for a couple minutes, and then we'll add our next ingredient. I'm just going to season my aromatics now. I'm using a stock pot. You can get them from any supermarket. I love them. They're just bursting with flavour, and they're so good for just an overall seasoning. We just want to make sure that our stock pot melts, so keep stirring. After a minute or two, that will just dissolve and the flavour will just be incorporated into all of our ingredients. I'm going to stir in my peppers now. I've got yellow, red and green pepper. I'm going to put that all in and give that a nice stir for a couple of minutes. I want my peppers to be nice and soft, so I'm going to keep stirring that until I get the desired texture. It's good practice while cooking to season each layer of food. So at this point I'm now going in with my shrimp Maggie cube and my complete seasoning, and I'm just going to mix that and make sure it's incorporated thoroughly. Please note that I will not be adding any salt to this rice at this point, because all the seasonings that I've used contain salt. Now I'm going in with my mixed vegetables, so I'm just going to toss those in and mix them around. We need to bear in mind that the vegetables that I've just put in are frozen, so we need to make sure that we cook them thoroughly so that they can defrost during this part of the process. Sticking with our theme of seasoning each layer, I'm going to go in with my curry powder and give that a nice mix. I'm going to pop the lid on now and leave that to cook for about 3 to 5 minutes, no longer than that, and then we'll come back and add our next ingredients. It was really important that we fully seasoned our vegetables and our aromatics at this point, because the next ingredients will be water and rice, and we'll be diluting all the flavours from this point going forward. So ensuring a fully seasoned base will make for a really nice tasty rice packed with flavour, and that's exactly what we want. Right, let's check on our rice. Perfect. You can see the oil has emerged to the top, so we know that our ingredients have cooked through thoroughly. Now I'm just going to add my rice. I washed this off camera, so we make sure we wash our rice, guys. It eliminates a lot of the starch. So in goes our washed rice, and give that a stir. Make sure we mix that through thoroughly. Before I add my water, I want to make sure that all the flavour has penetrated into the rice grains. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cook this for about 2 to 3 minutes, just as it is, and this basically will allow all the flavours to concentrate. So I'm going to pop my lid on and leave that to steam for a couple of minutes, no more than 2 to 3 minutes, and then we'll come back to it. A couple of minutes later, you can see that our pot has steamed up really nicely. So the rice is not ready yet. We're going to now add our water, but I'm just making sure that it's not burning at the bottom. So I'm making sure that I'm mixing it from the bottom before I add the water. So now I'm going to add in my water, boiling water, guys, just so it covers the rice, so not too much water, and then mix that, and then we're going to leave that to steam. I'm just going to test it here just to make sure it's got enough flavour, salt, etc. Because after this you can't add anything else to it. So I'm happy with the flavour. So I'm just going to cover that now with some tin foil. I'm going to turn the heat down to a minimum. I'm going to cover it and leave that to cook on its own steam. So we're going to leave that for about 10 to 15 minutes. So while our rice is cooking, I'm just going to saute our prawns. Here I've got some butter in the pan and I'm just allowing it to melt. I'm going to also now add our prawns and our shallots together. We left this to the side to marinate for about 15 minutes. So we're just going to toss them and allow them to cook on a medium heat, and ensuring that they're golden brown before we take them out. Our prawns have now been cooking for about 2 minutes, so I'm going to turn them over just to make sure they're nice and brown on both sides. So just turn them all over and keep cooking them for another couple more minutes. Right, our prawns are ready. This is the colour that I'm looking for, a nice golden brown. It smells gorgeous and they're nice and buttery. So here's a close-up for you. So this is the colour we want, nice and golden. And we're just going to add these to our rice, just for that final touch. Right, back over to our rice. I'm going to take the foil off. It's been steaming for about 10-15 minutes. And I'm just going to give that a little stir just to make sure that all of our veggies are mixed in with the rice. And now to just add our finishing touches. So I'm going to use some more spring onions. So I'm going to put in a few spring onions, and then in goes our delicious prawns. So all of that, including the butter and everything, all goes in, and give it a nice mix. Make sure there's prawns everywhere and everything's just incorporated nicely. I'm going to pop the foil on for one final time and leave that to steam for about 2 minutes. And then, guys, it is ready. Our lovely one pot party style fried rice is good to go. And look at this now, guys. It looks delicious. One pot party style fried rice. Serve this at any party, any gathering, any dinner that you may have with loads of guests, and you will definitely be impressing them. Thank you for staying tuned, and if you liked watching this video, please don't forget to smash that like button. Also, if you subscribe and hit the notification bell, you'll be notified anytime I post a new video. Bye my lovelies, and I'll catch you all in the next video.